Alright, here is a kind of an unusual angle on the video. What I have in front of me here is the Lansky Sharpening kit. Now, um, I'm not going to be talking about the differences in the kits and stuff. I don't actually know. You can see this. I've had this kit for a long time, and I use the Lansky kits quite a bit. It's the only one that I ever got really good at using and seen good results from. But like most things, you have to do it right, or you don't get the proper results, or you'll end up doing damage to your own knife. So, what we have here, as I said, is the Lansky kit. And what it does is, it comes with stones. This one came with these 3 stones, which are the fine, medium, and coarse. And I just added in the sapphire stone for giving it a razor's edge. It's not the original blade clamp. I managed to break it. These are slightly stronger. These aftermarket ones that came with, that you buy later on if you want. But I'll show you how to sharpen a knife, or how I sharpen a knife. So here I actually have a Lansky knife as well, and it's a big heavy knife. Now I normally use a different knife for everyday stuff, but if I need to hack through something, this is the one I use. I use it on the boat quite a lot, but it's pretty dull right now. It has got Scanvic 12C27 steel. I'm not sure if you can see it written on the back there. There you go, just there. So it is good steel, but it's blunt. There we go. It's not even cutting paper. It's pretty terrible right now. If you were doing blunt force, you could probably cut something with it, but it's not. You can't shave hair. It's blunt by all means. So the first thing you need to do is I'm already set up for the angle for this knife, so I'm not going to start on the coarse stone. If it was a stone or a blade you've never sharpened before, I'd advise, or a super blunt, go with the coarse stone first, but I'm going to go with the medium. All of the stones come with this setup here where it's nice and square. Now you can see mine are actually bowed ever so slightly over the years, so it's getting close to where I really should be changing them out, but it's not that bad. What you do is you insert the slide rod into the back using a flat surface, and tighten up the back of the clamp. Now you want it so the whole thing is flat, so that the angle of the guide rod is straight in line and horizontal with the angle of the cutting or the grinding surface. So this is slightly off, so I'm just going to bend it. Nope. It's way off. So you want the rod flat against the table, and you want the stone flat against the table. There we go. So rod's flat, blade's flat. What we're going to do now is we're going to clamp the blade in the work clamp. Now, you can do it that you just use this, but I actually use a table clamp as well. It makes it a lot easier, and easier on your fingers. So the key to doing this, I haven't clamped this one in a long time, is you need to make sure that when you are clamping, you're clamping in the same spot every time. If you're not, your angle is going to be different. So I haven't done it with this clamp yet, so I'm going to make a decision on it right now where I'm going to clamp it. And because this is a funny shaped blade, it's not going to clamp just on the end. You're going to have to go in a bit. Now, if you have really nice blade steel, you can put a little bit of tape around here so you're not going to mark it. But these are work knives. I don't mind about that. Just got to open this clamp up a little bit more. So put the blade side, just a fraction. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the top of the word Lansky and clamp it from there. So I want the top left of the blade and the clamp running all the way along the word Lansky. You can see there in the middle. I'm going to clamp it up there. That's pretty good. Because we don't really want to take this off until it's sharp. So we're all tight. The original ones had a mesh work on it, which made it a little bit easier to bend when you tighten up the back screw, and eventually it just bent to a point where it broke, so I replaced it. But that's it. This is on here now, and this is going to give us the angle of the cut we want for the steel. So normally, what you could do is you could do by hand, but if you have one of these systems, I really suggest getting the clamp for the table. They're not super expensive. I think the whole system, including the clamps and everything, is still well under 100. I'm guessing now, because I've had this, as I said, 5-6 years. And that's all the clamp does, is it holds it on the table, so you don't have to hold it in your hand. And will let you run your stones against your blade. So you have four different angles here, 30 to 17 degrees. And all they do is 30 will be a pretty harsh angle. The harsher the angle, the more it'll hold its edge, but the less cutting edge it'll have. It's more utilitarian. 25 is starting to get there. Mine is just a little bit under 25. You can kind of see the angle with the blade. So I'm a little bit smaller. I know all my ones are 20, so I'm going to go with 20 degrees here. And that stone is going to be nearly perfectly flat against the edge of the blade. So that's what I want. Lansky gives you a bottle of this honing oil. It's what I've been using since the day I got it, and I still haven't run out. Put a couple of drops in it. And that's it. One tip I'll give you is hold your finger so the rod is being pushed up against the top of the guide eye, and just run it. So you can actually, I'll just do something here so you guys can see easier. I'm going to put a little bit of marker on the blade. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little bit of black marker on the blade. So you'll see where the stone's actually cutting. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll zoom in here now and we'll take a look. Alright. So let's do a couple of passes here. So you can see it's wiping nearly all of the marker off the edge. So I'm really close to being at the natural edge of this from before. All the way to the top. It's a little bit off the top. You can see there's more black on the tip. So it's going to take a little bit of work to get through there. The rest of the blade's pretty much exactly at 20 degrees. Is where I want it. So what you want to do, you want to just go through the blade. Some people like doing it towards themselves. I've always done it away from myself. And you can just see at the tip where there's a big angle on this. I might be able to see the two different shines of where I'm actually cutting right now and where the blade is. That's going to take a little while to get through. But the rest of this blade is getting sharp real quick. I don't need to wear down too much. But I'm just going to do the tip here real quick. That's what she said. There's a lot of angle on that. Now you don't want to be putting too much pressure on it. All you're really doing with this is getting it ready for the finer stones. So we're almost done there now with the setting a new 20-degree angle on the blade. Wipe it off and just run a bit of marker on it again just to see. I can see my eyes, it's almost there, but I'll just do it so you can see on camera. Alright, so just to make it more legit, I'm going to take the crap off the stone, so it's only stone and not going to wash off with oil. I'll just give it one strike through. There you go, you can see how clean it is. So the stone is taking all of the crap off, all the dirt. A little bit here at the very tip. You can just see below my nail There's a bit more of an angle to go there, so I'm just going to keep working on that. Because if you have to shape the blade, you do it with the rougher stones. It saves you a lot of time. And we're almost there. That'll do it. And what you'll notice, got a bit here. What you'll notice is, run your finger along the bottom. You'll catch burr. And that's good. That means you've gone enough. If you haven't gone enough, you won't really feel the burr in your fingertips. There won't be any metal curled around the far side. Side 1 done. And you repeat on side 2. So you go back into your angle 20. And you just run it back through again. So it sets the angle back. Because it's been so long since I did this. Now, so at this point you kind of start getting careful, because it's more than sharp enough to take a bit of your finger off now. But it's got a very rough edge. The burr is making just micro little teeth that will dig in. Alright, that's the angle done. Yeah, I can feel the burr on the other side. Just going to clean it up. We're going to run to the next stone. That's glue that's stuck on the blade. So we don't take it out of the we don't ever take it out of the clamp until it's done. So that was stone 1 done. I'm going to go to the this is the fine stone, the blue stone. This one gets used a lot. I wouldn't even go with the medium unless it was a knife that I hadn't sharpened before, really. So set it back up on the table, and you get your flat one. Now what I've done is I've made these little inserts that line up with the blade here, so that you don't accidentally bang your blade into the back of your stone. It just makes your life a lot easier. And anyone who's used these for a while and start getting complacent and not paying 100% attention knows when you get a deep nick in the blade, it's just a pain. So just going to line this up again here flat, tighten her up, a little bit of an angle on it. Okay, perfectly flat to the stone, and we'll oil it up and start on the original side here again. So back in at 20, we don't ever change the angle. You can feel the stone is so much nicer and smoother than the medium. The rough is very rough. I would never use the roughness. I was starting completely fresh. Now you don't have to go heavy or hard. You can actually see every time you change direction on the knife. You can see the wear pattern change. So you just want to be nice and easy. You don't have to put pressure on it. You put pressure on it, you'll run the risk of changing the angle you're running the stone at. And keep everything above the stone if you don't want to lose it. There's a couple of, I can start to see a couple of little dings in this blade because it's been a while. And if I went longer with the medium, I'd get all those out and make it perfectly flat and straight edge. But that's not what I do when I'm sitting down watching TV. So run the other side again. If the blade gets exceedingly dirty, you can clean it off and with a little bit of brake cleaner or degreaser and start again. It'll clean the stone very nice. Just one more on the back side here. You can really hear the burn, feel the burn out because it's catching your nail. So that's perfect. Now, right now it feels sharp, but it's a really rough edge. And you can see the little striations on the blade from the stone. If you really want to finish off your stone, one of these guys, the sapphire stones, which can be bought separately, are amazing jobs. They just make it a mirror finish. I'm just going to grab this, switch it over. Okay, so we're good and square to the blade. That's all we need. And same thing, don't change the angle. I do clean the blade when I start using the sapphire stone, and just re-oil it again. Go back to 20. And what this will do is it actually doesn't feel like it's doing anything, but it'll make it to such an edge that the burr will actually fold off the far side, and it removes any striations from the blade. It makes it super shiny. It's more for finishing stone, but if you're going to use a strop afterwards, it really makes a difference. Side one. Alright. That's sharp. But we're going to make it a bit sharper. So the blade is now finished. We're going to take it out of the clamp. And just do a quick paper test. So I know it's a lot sharper than it was. And yeah, it's still not quite there at the paper yet. It's doing it. But it's having trouble getting started. So it has burr on the blade. Yeah, you can see it's getting there. What we're going to do now is we're going to strop it. And this is the difference between a sharp blade and a razor blade. So you get a strop, which is a real leather strap. You can use old belts if you want. One side is good for cleaning, the other side is for polishing out the last of it. I'll get back here a bit. There we go. This has already been waxed, so I don't need to wax it again. We're just going to clean the blade. So it's nice and clean. And we're going to run 50 straps on it. The blade stays level to the strap itself while the strap's under tension. And you just do 50. That's 3. There we go. And yeah, we've got what we needed out of that. So what I'm going to do is going to get a new sheet of paper and hopefully show you what your work will do. There we go. As I said, there's a little burr. I can still feel it right in the middle. But from not being able to cut paper to no trouble whatsoever. So, if you want to make a blade that's perfect, you go at it again with the medium, but it's more than able to cut whatever you want right now. And we should be able to get a bit of shave here, I think, if I can get in here. Let's see here. Blonde hairs. There you go, dry shave. Nice bald spot there. So yeah, that's what I would suggest for a sharpening kit. The Lansky, I think they come in a standard and a deluxe set. They're not very expensive. They take a little time and you have to know what you're doing. But like everything, you get out of it what you put into it. Learn how to use it. Be consistent. Make sure that every time you clamp it, it's the same way. You don't take off the clamp in between. And you just get a lovely razor's edge, especially if you add the strop to line up all the micro burrs. It is razor sharp at that point. Effortless cutting, no matter what you cut. And depending on the steel, it depends on how long it'll stay sharp. But those Scanvic steels are pretty good. So thanks for watching. This is just a little tutorial video on how I sharpen my knives and keep them sharp. And you can pick these up anywhere. You can get them all over eBay. They're super easy to get. They're pretty cheap. And they do the job really well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.